I'm a special education teacher. I've taught for 28 years. In the last 5 years, I had an interest in working with children with autism. And so I went to the University of Washington and got some training. I wanted to find out what was the latest research in terms of what works and what doesn't for kids with autism. And so we've put together a program for students here at Paulsville Elementary that come from all over the district. We have from preschool through grade 4, and just a variety of ways of dealing with their autism. Kids with autism love the computer, and so getting them to use a computer is not a problem at all. The problem is they'll hook into the computer and then they don't engage at all with anybody or anything else, and they get stuck on just wanting just to be on the computer. Another difficulty with kids with autism is pairing what they hear with what they see. They're very, very visual learners. They rely heavily on visual information. What this program seems to do is connect the two. And it starts at the very lowest levels of, listen, you're going to be hearing this, and it goes with this picture. Well, they tune in right away because they like pictures. And in order to move to the next level, they have to put together listen with picture. And so that, I think, is the unique feature.
Okay, great.
The other thing I should mention is it's not just listening to, like, say, letter sounds or word match with picture, but it's actual real sounds from real environments, which is the one thing that no other program has done before. I think it's why they love it, because I think for the first time it's pairing what they've heard in their environment but haven't really processed with pictures that they have processed. And so it's helping them make connections.
Great.
Aiden talks more. Aiden is one that he'll hear some language and then he'll repeat it, and sometimes it fits the situation and sometimes it doesn't. Well, again, because this program is kind of really based on a natural flow of language, natural explanations, it's not a real canned approach. His language that he's repeating from there sounds a lot more natural. And he's using it in situations that kind of match what he's learning on the program.
Sure.
Another area that I've seen a huge growth is one of my students who was not learning to read. He simply could not remember labels or sounds for letters, which is unusual. Kids with autism typically are Gestalt learners, and so they'll learn whole words, and it's limitless. They can memorize a dictionary. They don't do phonetic learning, not really. But this little guy, Scott, we had tried every approach, and he is now in 3rd grade, and he could barely tell you the letters in his own name. Well, he now, since using the program, knows all the letters and all the sounds.
Wow.
And he's figuring out that words and those squiggle lines that are what we call letters are what makes the word say the word.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Great.
Making the connection. I see them making connections. I think, first of all, kids with autism love computers because computers are really highly predictable and people aren't. And so what they have a lot of trouble with is trying to understand what's coming next, what just happened. It gives them a lot of anxiety. They get fixed on wanting things to be very routine. And with this program, it puts them in the world where they're most comfortable, which is working with a computer. But then it takes this real natural approach, which is more like life. And so they're able to make connections because they're not, first of all, not put on alert that something's going to be unpredictable and changing because it's a computer. But secondly, it is a little unpredictable because it's based on real life.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Well, the hook is that it's the computer. The other thing is it's a lot of still pictures. And it's still pictures that they're not trying to process both the moving picture, the moving target, which is what life is, and the auditory component that goes with it. So they have the still picture, which they understand, and then it leaves them free to try to process that auditory piece that goes with that picture. I'm happy that we got to be a pilot program for this, and My friend Dee, who's also a special ed teacher, had told me about the great things that were happening in her classroom because of it. And I thought, my kids love computers. I wonder what would happen if I tried it. And, you keep data on my kids, and they've all just zoomed along with it. I had one little guy who's completely nonverbal. And he doesn't even hardly make sounds. At first, he could not get the connection of the mouse doing something to the screen. He was just little, his first year here, he's kindergarten age. And I told the para that was working with him, don't help him. He has to keep on that stage until he becomes independent on that stage. He will get it. This program is designed to show him how to get it. And at first, she kind of helped him a little, and then she backed off. And about, maybe a week later, she came just all excited. He got it, he's doing it. And now he's flown right through it, and he knows all his letters and all the sounds, even though he can't produce them.
Wow.
He can tell you which one says what sound. So he's making really great gains.
Great.
Yeah.
Try these sounds. P.